Every nation has its crown jewels. Not made of gold or diamonds, but of information. Secrets so powerful, they can dictate the fate of the world. For decades, America held one such secret. A blueprint, a key, a source of unimaginable power. And it was guarded by a man who was, himself, a ghost. He was a patriot, a model citizen. For 30 years, he believed in the cause. But belief is a fragile thing. And in the summer of 1982, that belief shattered. This is the story of the ghost who decided to steal another ghost, and in doing so, vanished completely. His name was Thomas Locke. To his colleagues, he was diligent, quiet, and fiercely loyal. The perfect custodian for America's most valued secret. He took an oath, swore to protect his country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. He meant every word. For years, his work was his life. He saw the secret not as a weapon but as a promise. A guarantee of peace and stability. But slowly, he began to hear whispers in the halls. Talks of contracts, of monetization, of turning the promise into a profit. The secret he protected was being shopped around to the highest bidder. The line between patriot and profiteer was blurring. He faced an impossible choice: betray his oath to the government or betray his conscience. He made his decision. He would protect the secret from the government itself. His plan was not born of malice, but of a profound, chilling fear. A fear that the thing he had devoted his life to protecting might become the very thing that destroys everything he loved. The patriot was gone. In his place stood a man preparing for the most silent war imaginable. A war of one. The secret was digital, stored on 9-inch magnetic tapes in an air-gapped vault. To steal it, he wouldn't need a gun. He would need a perfect, bureaucratic alibi. He used his own authority to create a request for a legacy system backup. A routine, boring procedure. He signed the forms himself. One by one, he transferred the data. The guards saw a senior employee doing his job. They saw the man, not the traitor. The weight of the tapes was physical. The weight of his actions was existential. He carried both out the front door. And just like that, it was over. The most valued secret in America was in a duffel bag, slung over the shoulder of a ghost. He didn't take it to an enemy. He didn't try to sell it. He simply hid it. Becoming its warden, its sole protector in a world that had lost its right to it. In a cold, anonymous storage unit, he sealed away the nation's soul. There was no triumphant fanfare. No sigh of relief. Just the heavy clang of a lock engaging, and the crushing silence that followed. He had done it. He had succeeded. And in that moment of perfect victory, he had never felt more alone. He walked home under the same sky as every other night. But he was now a citizen of a different country, a nation of one. His life, his identity, his past, it was all a costume he could no longer wear. The heist was not a single event, but a door he walked through, closing it forever behind him. The discovery caused panic. A storm of investigations, suspicions, and fear. They looked everywhere. For a mole, for a hacker, for a spy. They never looked at the quiet, retired man down the street. The ghost had become invisible. But invisibility has a price. It's a life of constant looking, of listening, of fearing a knock on the door that never comes. He had saved his conscience, but sacrificed his life. There was no one to celebrate with, No one to reassure him he'd done the right thing. He had erased himself. The man he was no longer existed. He was just a vessel for a secret. Was he a hero or a traitor? He had betrayed his oath to protect his country from the secret by becoming the secret's only protector. Years turned into decades. The world moved on, the investigation grew cold. But for Thomas Locke, time stood still. He lived in a prison of his own making, the walls made of memory and paranoia. He was the guardian of a tomb no one knew existed, and he was its sole occupant. Thomas Locke died in 2019. The secret was never found. The official case remains open, a cold, frustrating mystery. He left no confession, no manifesto. Just an empty room and a question that hangs in the air. The real secret he stole wasn't the data on those tapes. It was a far more dangerous idea.